Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Great White Mexican Podcast. I am the Great White Mexican, and this is my podcast. For people to know, my name is Marco, if you guys want to call me something like that. I've done a couple YouTube videos before, the Great White Mexican, at the / the Great White Mexican YouTube channel, if you guys want to check it out. Shameless promotion, but I don't care. But yeah, I've always wanted to start a podcast because I listen to a lot of podcasters and I like to share my thoughts. And, you know, if I can share my thoughts to one person or like 10 people or like, 30 people, that's cool. That's I like to share my opinion. I don't like to hold stuff in. So yeah, what this podcast generally is going to be is, just topics I find interesting. It's a general like entertainment, if you will. It can be from from topics today, like video games and dogs, to it could be to something about atheism and religion, and it could be about politics, and it could be about any of that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much what this podcast is going to be about. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It's my first episode, so if you guys are listening to this, just know that this is going to be a little rough. I might not know exactly how to keep the awkward silences to a minimum. I might, stumble on my words. See, or fuck, I already did it. I might stumble on my words. I might, just in general, I might mess up. But so, bear with me a little bit. But yeah, let's just get right into it. Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, Mass Effect Andromeda is a game that I feel like has gotten a lot of flack for no reason. And not so much no reason, but I feel like the game itself has gotten a lot of flack for the crappy practices of EA and BioWare. And I think that people already had a predetermination of what they wanted this game to be like, or they already didn't want to like this game. And that's fine. I mean, this is the fourth game in a very revered franchise and something that people love and all that stuff. And Mass Effect 3 kind of left us with a sour sour taste in our mouth. And I think Mass Effect 4, Mass Effect Andromeda, if you will, really had to step up to the plate and do that. Okay, so let me get this. So Metacritic right now has Mass Effect 1 at a 92. I think Mass Effect 3 at a 97. Mass Effect 2 at a 97. And Mass Effect 3 at a 94. And right now, Mass Effect Andromeda sits way down the totem pole at 70% on Metacritic. I don't get that. I've played this game twice now. I have played it as a female. I have played it as a male. I have had different relationships. I have had different tactics of going into the game. I have had different stuff. I just do not see how this game could in any way get a 70% on Metacritic. Or it just in any way get so much shit. The game itself is very good. If I had to rate it, it's probably an 88. But then again, I wouldn't rate Mass Effect 1 as a 92. I would rate Mass Effect 1 as maybe an 85 to 82 range, and that range. I do not think it's that great of a game. And I love Mass Effect. I think it's one of the greatest franchises in the history of video games. With behind its lore and behind its relationship system and everything, how it revolutionized the RPG. Because everyone copies Mass Effect now. Everyone copies BioWare's system of this dialogue system. I think they changed so much. It's like the Batman Arkham fighting system. Everyone does that now. Everyone emulates it. But I feel like this game gets a lot of flack for no reason at all. Obviously, the embargo didn't help at all for this game, because when you don't give a game we don't give reviewers a week in advance for copies so they can play through the game and give people an opinion, and you wait till a day before, it just screams that your game isn't complete or that your game is shitty. And that's not what people wanted to hear from Mass Effect. That's not what they wanted to hear at all. And then the animations did not fucking help. Holy shit. Thank God for that 1.05 patch, because it makes a difference, because they were just horrible. I just don't get how 5 years, $40+ million, and the animations are just complete and utter shit. And it's so frustrating as a fan. I mean, obviously, I get past it. Like I said, I give this game an 88 because I don't think that's something that solely holds it back. I find it funny people all the time say, "Oh, games back in the '90s were great. If you play them back again, man, they were awesome." Or the games in the early 2000s. Don't worry about the graphics, man. Don't worry about that stuff. It's just the characters and the story that's being told that people. That's what makes a game, right? And then you see something like Witcher 3 or Fallout 4. Or you see some of these, like, the biggest controversies about the graphics and how bad they are, or how they're degraded, or like Watch Dogs, how they weren't even close to being what they were in the demos, or with any of that stuff. I wish there would be a balance. Video game fans and video game people are just kind of like wrestling fans in the regard. You cannot please one. If you try to make the best fucking graphics possible, but you have no fucking story mode because you've been investing in graphics, guess what? You're going to piss off half your audience. And if you invest solely in story, if you invest solely in certain aspects you do think that are better, half the people are going to hate you. Now, I'm not defending Mass Effect because I think the story is a little underwhelming, and I feel like they repeat a lot of the same notes that Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 were following. And that's fine. As long as they change it up with 2, right? I don't want the same fucking story again. I just don't. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's just like Star Wars. Like, The Force Awakens literally just sets it up where the second movie has to be like Empire Strikes Back, or else it makes no sense. The character development is just going to be ruined, and no one's going to care about these characters, and no one's going to have any suspense. But anyways, let's get back to Mass Effect Andromeda. I really feel like this game does not deserve all the hate it's getting. I think the game is great. I think it improved a lot on what Mass Effect 3 was trying to do, which was trying to make combat a lot funner, which it is excellent, by the way. The combat in Mass Effect Andromeda is just... it's just a good. It's very good, very good. But it is. It's spectacular. But and the story, you kind of see where it's going, and they're trying to set up these big epic stories, and the next few installments they try to do, and that's fine, or the expansions, whatever they want to do. They're trying to set the groundwork for certain things, and I get that. But the thing is, I think the biggest thing that holds Mass Effect back, or Mass Effect Andromeda at least back, is the graphics. But then again, BioWare's never really been the forefront of like animations or graphics. They've always kind of been behind, and I get it. The animation's just horrible. Like when you first are exposed to them, you're like, oh my god, these character models are so ugly. I can't make a good-looking character. I'm going to have horrible relationships with everyone because I'm not going to like anyone I look at. Oh my god. But I get it. These things hold it back. And that's why it's not in the 90s, because these are basic things that you should be able to do within a 5-year span with $40+ million when the experienced teams that BioWare has and all the money EA can throw at it. You should not have these problems. 85 to 88 is that kind of range. It's a great game. 80s are great games, right? But the thing is, people giving it a 70, people saying it's the worst game ever, and the other thing too is, I love the anti-social justice warrior community, and they're fun. They make the greatest memes, and I consider myself a part of them. But the thing is, you really have to look at yourself, guys. And everyone's like, oh, they made the women characters ugly because they didn't want they because of sexism or feminism or whatever the fuck it is, right? And obviously there's some social justice warrior stuff in here, and I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, people saying that just every character model is ugly, except for the Turians and the Krogans, which are, because they have structured faces, it's very different. Which is why I choose Ventra as my male freaking commander, because god, everyone else is ugly as fuck. Except for maybe Asari. But obviously, I get it. I get why people think that. But really, when you think about it, guys, you really have to think really hard. There is no sex. I seriously doubt BioWare purposely made their characters ugly to appease the feminists or to appease the social justice warriors. It makes no fucking sense at all. If that was what they're trying to go for, then they would make some of the characters fat and not everyone's sexy as hell. All right, that's pretty much what seriously, like, you've seen Korra naked, that scene, god, the ass though. Okay, but I can understand why some people were hating on it, because some of the dialogue, especially the social justice dialogue, is forced as hell, and it is upsetting. It really is. Like, I'll give you an example. there's a point where you're on Eos, right? One of the first planets you put an outpost on, and you meet these settlers, these people who are a sovereign nation. I forgot what they were called for the life of me. I can't remember, and I'm not going to look it up right now because they're kind of irrelevant. But the point is, there's a point where you can be like, okay, we're going to have to put these seismic things down to find out what these are. And the guys are like, well, these seismic readings are messing up. Whatever. It leads to basically where you can choose to take water from these people or take natural gas and trade with them for the water. And one of the dialogue options is, isn't that bad for the environment? And I kind of twitched my head a little bit. I was like my dog when she like hears a nice strange sound. I was just kind of like, what? I was literally I just screamed that out loud. Like, what just happened? Because if you guys don't know this, which I hope you do, because it makes a lot of context. I'll give you a little context to it. On Mass Effect Andromeda, what you do is that you go to these ancient, what they call remnant vaults, which is ancient alien technology, and you terraform planets with this technology, and the terraforming takes about 5 seconds. This super advanced, super intelligent creatures that can terraform hazardous planets and make them like livable, right? Didn't fucking comprehend that maybe natural gas or pollution or CO2 might be a problem. Holy fucking shit. I mean, it's just so stupid when you just give it even the most the minute little bit of thought to it. You just kind of like, that doesn't make any sense. And if you choose that option to take the natural gas, you'd be like, didn't we just fix this planet? Like someone of your one of your companions would be like, didn't we just fix this planet? Should like isn't this gonna hurt it or whatever? I'm just like, guys, we just terraformed an entire planet in about 5 seconds from being hazardous to livable, and you're worried about CO2 emissions. Do you really not think that the ancient technology of these aliens is not going to fucking fix this shit? I mean, really, guys, like, that's just bad. Or, like, no bigots allowed. That's a popular one where you're talking to a new alien you meet, and he's kind of weary of aliens because the first aliens he met were the Ket, and the Ket are, like, one of the main enemies in the game. And they try to kill everyone that they meet and turn them into Ket. And yeah, it kind of makes sense why he would be kind of wary of being around aliens, especially on an alien ship, because his leader forced him to be on the ship to help us out. And there's one point he's like, feel a little uncomfortable with aliens, and one of the options is no bigots allowed on my ship. And I'm like, oh god, that's just so forced. It's just so forced. It just takes you out of the game. You're just like, ugh, it doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, for the most part, you kind of get a sense of what I'm getting at here is that some people could take that and be like, this is really forced dialogue, and that should knock it down a few points. I can get that, but the thing is, it shouldn't, because it's only small parts of the game. And to be honest with you, this has been in BioWare games before, so I don't really understand some of the backlash to this. Yeah, there's some social justice warrior stuff, but the thing is, I don't care. And if you're a true Mass Effect fan, you do not care. You just do not. It's just people trying to come in from a different angle, trying to write down some shit, right? I hate when people do that. Like, if you don't understand a certain situation, you try to write about it from being an outsider's perspective, and you say stuff about a franchise, you're going to hurt some people's thoughts. Because even on the social justice warrior side, they're like, oh, the gay characters, there's not enough gay characters, or there's not enough this, or there's not enough that. And it's such bullshit. But yeah, again, this game doesn't deserve a 70% on Metacritic. This game does not deserve all the hate it's getting. I really believe that some people just wanted to hate this game, because I played it and I was so tentative to play it. I was like, this game's gonna suck. I do not want to have my franchise that I love and I spent so many hours into. I named my dog after Tally Zora. Voss Normandy. Seriously, that's my dog's name, is Tally. Like, fucking shit. Like, I was so scared this game was gonna be shit, and I played it and I'm like, this game is not shit. This game is a great game. Is it excellent? It could be better. But the thing is, I wasn't expecting it to be, like Mass Effect 3, it's a combination of 2 different games and the stories and just so many emotional characters and so many different types of stuff going on. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Nor should anyone expect that. It's setting up a new franchise, and you should give it a little bit of leeway. And again, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Like, and I see people like Angry Joe or certain people that I thought would see past this bullshit. and they're giving it like a sixes and like fives, and I was like, guys, it's not a mediocre game by any stretch of the imagination. It's an 8. It's a solid 8. Is it a 9? No. Is it a 10? No. Is it better than 2 and 3? No. But is it better than 1? I think so, and I think a lot of people, or it's either at that level or it's right above it. So that's all I want to really talk about Mass Effect. I just really hope people give the second game a little bit less of this hatred. I hope BioWare does not do the shitty practices they did with this game. I hope EA doesn't do that. I hope EA takes the freaking cufflinks off of this game. You would think that one of the most successful developers in their system would get a little leeway from EA, but I can just see some of the shit that they put in here. But anyways, that's for a different topic. So let's get into another topic. So I work at a food establishment. I'm not going to say which one I do because I just don't want to get in that kind of shitstorm. But yeah, I work at a food establishment, and I like my job. I like my coworkers. Actually, I love my coworkers. I love everything about it. It's a great job. But basically, I love my dog. I talk about my dog all the time. My dog is my life. She's my baby girl, and all that stuff, right? And she's just the love of my life. I've always wanted a dog, and I spoil her like no other. Well, she's very well trained too, right? And so I took my dog to the park. We took her to the dog park, let her run around, got her real tired, and I was like, I'm kind of hungry. So I'm just like, I'm going to take my dog to work. Like a lot of my coworkers never seen my dog. So I decided to take my dog to work, and I took my dog straight to the patio. And all my girl coworkers came out. They're like, "Oh my god!" Like, "Oh my god, yeah, I know she's precious." And to give you a little background, my dog is a American Bulldog and Boxer mix. She's about 70 pounds right now. She's about 10 and a half months. And she is just the precious little thing. She's just such a goofball. She still thinks she's small. But she's never had she doesn't have aggressive bone in her body. She's so submissive. She is such a darling little kid. And she's kind of muscular. She's a boxer, and boxers tend to be a little bit more leaner than most dogs, and American Bulldogs are just big dogs. So she's got both those things, and so she's kind of a bigger dog. And I can see why she's kind of intimidating. But most people just accept her as a dog, and dogs are individuals, and especially because she's just so happy when she sees people. She shows no aggressiveness to anyone. Anyways, I play with her a little bit outside. I give her hugs. She likes to give me hugs and stuff like that. And then I was like, okay, I'm hungry. I'm just going to quickly go get some food and just walk out, right? I've seen people do it all the time with dogs. So I'm not too concerned about it. But then there's this old man. He's kind of a regular there, and whatever. He's like one of those guys that gets like, can I get a single taco? And can I please get can I get it crispy? I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. I probably might have given away where I work. But anyways, he basically gets the same thing every day. And he's really picky about it, and it's whatever. I turn around and everyone else is all happy. You see Tally. Everyone's like, oh, can I pet your dog? And this guy gives me this look. And if you're a dog owner and you own a dog that even remotely looks like a pit bull, and she doesn't even look like a pit bull, she's just a big dog. So everyone can consider those pit bulls. But if you have a dog like that, you know what that look is. When somebody gives you that look like, oh my god, you brought this dog here. And I didn't really think of anything. He didn't say anything to me. And I just kind of went on my merry way, was taking care of Tally, making sure she wasn't doing anything. She kind of tried to jump on the railing, and I got her down. But I got my burrito. I left. One of my managers asked me, is a service dog? I'm like, no, I just couldn't leave her in the car. And then I just went out my way, went on with my day. It was great. Come 2 days later, I come into work, and our apprentice, our GM, whatever you want to call him, he comes up to me. He's like, hey, dude, are you mad because of the dog thing? And he texts me earlier, what kind of dog do you have? I was like, oh, that's kind of a weird question you asked. He's never really asked that before. But yeah, he asked me that. And he's like, are you mad about the dog thing? I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, that old man, he kind of gave us a fuss about your dog. I'm like, okay. Don't really know why he would give me a crap with my dog. But anyways, what happened was, once I didn't hear him because I wasn't paying attention. He told our one of my coworkers who was working, like, oh, so you guys let killer dogs into your restaurant? And at that point, I was just like, oh my freaking god. I was just like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. Like, not this kind of person. I hate these people. And anyways, I'll continue the story and I'll tell you a little bit more of my rant I'm going to have on this guy. Anyways, oh god, what is he? Oh yeah, see, he's like, yeah, you guys like, it's like, those dogs kill thousands of people a year, right? And I'm just like, okay, so this guy doesn't even know what kind of dog I have, so what is he talking about? Because you think boxers are like that? I don't even think he knows an American Bulldog isn't a type of dog. But anyways, it goes on, and then he's like, it's like he's just bringing the dog in. He told him all this stuff, like he's just walking through. The dog didn't bother anyone, and just going through all that other bull crap. And I just got so pissed off. And thank God, I love my dad. He's one of my heroes. And he talked to me about it. He's like, dude, there's no point in arguing with those people. They're ignorant. They're stupid. They're set in their ways, especially when they're old like that. If they have an opinion, it's not going to change. And that's fine. I understand. In the moment, especially at my work, I might have gotten in some trouble if I got it into the guy. But I'm on my podcast right now, so that guy can go fuck himself. So I'm going to bring up some statistics. So, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong about this. He said thousands of dogs, those types of dogs, thousands, and I assume he's talking about pit bulls. I don't know what the hell else he was talking about. But the Center for Disease Control talks about how there's about 4.5 million dog bites a year, which is a common thing to happen. But it's about 20 to 30 people die from dog attacks a year. So that was just thrown out the window. And if you don't know this, you know what the number one dog is for biting? Guess what it is, guys? Okay. It's Chihuahuas. Fucking Chihuahuas are the ones that are most likely to bite somebody because they're little shits and they're little rats, and no one likes them. But anyways, like, when it's I don't understand this fear of pit bulls. I understand that people, like, pit bulls can hurt people, just like a German Shepherd can hurt somebody, just like any dog who is over like 50 pounds can hurt somebody physically, and even a small dog can hurt somebody physically. It's just less traumatic because it's a small dog, even though those things are little shits. Oh, sorry, I'm cussing a little bit more than usual. It just really pisses me off that this ignorance that people have towards dogs. Like Joe Rogan talks about it all the time. It's like, well, pit bulls are they're dogs, man. They're just naturally aggressive. No, they're fucking not. Like, I don't like to say this a lot about people I respect, but you're a fucking idiot if you think that. A dog is it's an animal. It's a domesticated animal. It's bred to live with human beings. If you want to be scared of a dog, be scared of a fucking German Shepherd. Excuse me. Those are war dogs. Those dogs were made and bred to literally fight in wars and kill people with fucking armor on. Those are the scary ones we deal with. But the thing is, that's any dog. Any dog that you don't properly train with an obedience, with love, with care, with kindness is gonna turn out to be aggressive, because that's what they do. They revert back to their animal instincts. So, you know what I mean? That's why a lot of douchebags, they show their muchness, like, oh man, you said something about me, bro? I'm gonna fuck you up, bro. Let's go, bro. That's what you do. You revert back to your animal instinct. And your animal instinct is to fight for everything you have, especially stray dogs. That's what they do. Every day in and day out, they fight for everything they have. But yeah, it just pissed me off to no end to see that this guy, who I assume has never read anything about dogs in his fucking life, and people in general who just talk about stuff like this, like they have some clues, like, oh, I owned a pit bull and then the dog was like, well, that's because you didn't train the pit bull right. It's because you didn't, like, if a dog acts a certain way, there's three things that happen. You didn't train the dog well, you got the wrong type of dog, which people do all the time. I have a backyard, and I do exercise my dog regularly. She's a boxer and an American Bulldog. American Bulldogs are working dogs, and boxers are really hyperactive dogs. So they need to expend a lot of energy. You know what I mean? So I do that every single freaking day. All right, I do that. I train her. I keep her mentally stimulated. I do all that stuff. So that's one. So either you don't properly train the dog, or you got the wrong type of dog, or you neglect the dog in some way. Because some dogs need more attention than others. Some dogs are just cool with chilling, not doing anything. It's like, what's up, bro? How you doing? It's cool. It's cool. You're back. You got some food for me? Cool. Other dogs are like, oh my god, this play. And those are the three things. Like, so when I hear people like Joe Rogan say, like, oh, my dog was a certain way, my dog like would hit the freaking thing with her head and she would just try to get out. It's like, well, that's because you got the wrong lifestyle for the dog. I assume you work a lot, which means you shouldn't get a dog. Like, if you have you have a cattle dog and you work 40 plus hours a week and you don't train that dog is just going to be neglected. You know, I hate when people do that. Don't blame the animal, blame yourself. All right. If you get a big dog, understand you're going to need a yard, or you're going to need to be able to take it out regularly, right? You're going to have to make those sacrifices, and after a long day of work, if you live in an apartment, you have to take your dog on a walk, you're going to have to run around with your dog, you're going to do all that other crap, all right? If you want a small dog, get a small dog. They're not as bad, right? They're still hyperactive, though. They still need exercise. It's just in an apartment, it's smaller, so they can run around. But yeah, it pisses me off to no end when people are just ignorant like that, especially when it comes to dogs, because dogs are animals. They are domesticated animals. They are animals that cannot live without us. They are animals that depend on us, just like, and that's what they do. They've been bred out of their wild instincts, and they cannot survive on their own. So I hate it when people like this old man try to say she's a killer dog. You don't know my dog. You don't know me. First of all, you're making me seem like a fucking idiot or a maniac who's going to bring in a fucking killer dog into a restaurant with people. Like, you really think I'm that fucking stupid? Right? And you saw my dog. My dog looked at him and was just like, oh my god, hi. Like, my dog waves her butt because she's a boxer and her butt moves with her tail. She's like, oh my god. And I just hate it so much when people, they're so ignorant to something, right? And that's not having to do with like politics or anything, but dogs are a science. You know what I mean? There's a certain way to have a dog. Like, like I said, there's three main things you have to consider when you get a dog. Can you train it? How much time can you train with it? That's one. Is it the right dog for you? Because not every dog is right for a person's situation, right? And what kind of environment do you have this dog in? You know what I mean? Can you give this dog love all the time? Can you do this for this dog? You know what I mean? You have to consider these three factors. And horrible dog owners give dogs bad names. It doesn't give dog owners bad names. It gives dogs bad names. People who can't help their animals or don't try to don't give their animal enough attention or enough time, they're the ones that give the dogs bad names. And that's why pit bulls are banned, because shitty people do shitty things with these dogs and they don't train them. It's a status symbol. You know what I mean? Just like Rottweilers were, just like German Shepherds were, just like certain dogs are always been status symbols. They're the big macho mans, the gangsters dogs, right? But and these dogs get really bad names and it sucks, you know? But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. It was just so bad. Like, really, I hate when people are ignorant about dogs. Like, you can research stuff and you can look it up. Especially if you want to own a dog, you learn this stuff. You know? So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, those are the two topics I wanted to cover for this podcast. Man, it's been fun, you know, just talking to myself in this freaking closet I'm recording in. My dog's like, what are you doing right now? She's my precious baby girl. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. It's about 30 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to try to hit the 30-minute mark every time with these podcasts. If anyone's listening to this, if you guys want to give me feedback anywhere, you can give me feedback on Twitter. My caption name is the GreatWhite Mexican. Or you can at me at Marco2King, but my name is the GreatWhite Mexican. Check out my YouTube channel at 123 Marco, or the GreatWhite Mexican. It's kind of hard to find, but whatever. Yeah, and I'm going to continue to do this because it's really fun. I like this. It was fun to talk about some of this stuff and get it off my chest. You know, I think it's good for anybody who just wants to talk about stuff, because there's stuff going on in my mind all the time. So, yeah, so thanks, guys, for listening to the podcast. And I don't know if I'm going to do this bi-weekly. I don't know if we're going to do this twice a week. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, yeah, but that concludes the first episode of the GreatWhite Mexican podcast. I am the GreatWhite Mexican, also known as Marco, and I hope you guys have a great day.